Hello, I'm Dominik Stambach from ETH, and I'm here to talk about automated claim checking and the knowledge base in automated claim checking, and especially which one you should choose and whether that choice matters. And this is joint work with Luya Zhang and Elliot Ash, and both are from ETH as well. So we are doing automated claim checking. That is, we try to automatically determine the veracity of a claim given a knowledge base with fact. And the claims are simply a statement, and we take those claims from annotated data sets. So we do have annotations. For example, they can be supported, refuted, or non-verifiable. And we do understand the knowledge base as a corpus of botanical documents, and then we can use the claims to query these documents and retrieve the necessary ones to predict the veracity of the claim. And now we ask, does it matter which knowledge base you choose in automated claim checking? Do nowadays systems actually care? And if so, how important is that choice? And the spoiler obviously is, yes, it very much does. And we do examine that question by holding a claim verification system constant while we vary the knowledge bases and the claim sets. So let's have a look at an example. Here we have the claim global warming is driving polar bears towards extinction, and we took that one from climate fever. So this is from a claim checking data set, hence it has a label which is supported. Now, if we take Wikipedia as a knowledge base and we query Wikipedia with that claim, we retrieve the following evidence, which says that global rising temperatures do endanger species, but that's not enough for our system to support the claim, hence we predict not enough information. On the other hand, if we take a knowledge base consisting of scientific abstracts, we find evidence such as polar bears will largely disappear, and the polar bear is the most well-known species imperiled by global warming. So given this stronger evidence, our system actually predicts support, which also is the associated label of that claim. And this kind of motivates us to scale the question of taking different claims and different knowledge bases and just examine what happens. Now, previous work, we usually built a data set consisting of claims and labels and a single knowledge base. And then researchers went on to improve the pipeline, which is a very valid thing to do, and that it's in the past as well. And we understand that to be the model-driven approach. However, there has been little work on which knowledge base you choose. A popular claim checking data set is Fever, and the claims there are derived from Wikipedia sentences, so it's just natural to use Wikipedia there as well. Now, our approach is different. We do take the pipeline as given, but we vary the knowledge bases. So we do explore the choice of using different knowledge bases for the same pipeline. And we do understand that as a data-centric view on claim checking compared to the model-centric view. So we take an existing system which has been trained on Fever, which we have built last year. We modified it slightly, and then we have as input a claim and a knowledge base. We use BM25 to retrieve 5 documents from that knowledge base. We use a Roberta model, which has been trained on Fever to select the important sentences from the retrieved documents. And then the claim and the evidence are fed into another Roberta model, and that would give you a label supports, refutes, or not enough information. And in the model-driven approach, you would fix the data, that is the claims and the knowledge base, and then you'd optimize your your pipeline components. So your retrieval module, your selection module, and your veracity determination module. We, on the other hand, we fix the pipeline, but we do vary the data. And this brings us to our experimental setup. We we experiment with a number of different claim verification tasks. They're all somewhat established. I guess fever would be the most popular one. Side effect and climate fever are tasks from the scientific domain. Presidential speeches are featured in a share task from 2019 and are claims from presidential debates. Real-world claims are derived from search engine queries, and Fluentwise is a recent developed data set which also uses Wikipedia. And we just take those, like other people have developed those resources and have annotated them, we just use them. However, we have built some customized knowledge bases, and we consider 4 different knowledge bases. That is Wikipedia from fever, and then we have built a scientific knowledge base which contains 77 million abstracts, which we crawled from Scopus and Crossref. And we have also crawled the New York Times and have 2 million articles between the year 2000 and 2021. And this is our journalistic domain. And then we also use the Google Search API to query like the whole internet. We have experimented with all knowledge bases at once and also have baseline results for no knowledge base. So we would take a data set and we would take a knowledge base, and then we just apply our pipeline and we measure resulting label accuracy. And for side effect, our scientific knowledge base performs best with 62%, and like Wikipedia kind of does similarly to the claim-only baseline. Those are our main results so far. So like this cell here would be using the fever claims and Wikipedia's knowledge base. This cell here would be having climate fever and the scientific knowledge base. And this all is label accuracy. And I think the first thing we see is that like the fever system in isolation would be this row here. So you have a fever system in Wikipedia. We do see that this works well for fever, but for none of the other data sets. However, if we change the knowledge base to a more domain-specific one, scientific knowledge base for side effect, for example, we do get substantial improvement. So we can somewhat successfully adapt a fever system to a new domain. On the other hand, we don't find a consistently best performing knowledge base, like they all are good on different tasks. And then we figured, okay, if they're all individually good, perhaps if we just pull them all together, this might be best in every case. But that's not true either. Like sometimes they are here for fever, but for side effect they are not. Like in just taking scientific abstract here works best, and that is because like kind of irrelevant documents drown the relevant ones, and then we don't retrieve the proper evidence. And then no evidence baseline basically is that we predict not enough information for all the claims. And we do have confusion matrices. For example, this column here is model predictions for non-verifiable claims for side effect. So if we have no knowledge base, we would predict non-verifiable for basically all the claims. If we have our scientific abstract knowledge base, we do have some true positives on diagonals. And the same thing holds for real world claims, where in this baseline setting we predict not enough information for all of them. Now, because pooling knowledge bases together kind of does not resolve the problem, we tried something different, and that is that the M25 gives you a score, and our evidence selection model gives you a score, and then we just regress resulting label accuracy on those scores. And we do see that the M25 scores are not a good predictor. However, evidence selection confidence somewhat predicts the resulting label accuracy. So we think you could, if you have like a new set of claims and different knowledge bases, you could just measure the highest evidence selection score, and you should choose that knowledge base in the end to predict your claims. And this basically concludes our talk. Um, I guess those are the key takeaways. That is, the choice of the knowledge base does matter, and VR systems can be transferred to new domains if we also exchange knowledge base to that new domain. And we do not find a universally best knowledge base, and pooling knowledge bases together sometimes drowns the useful evidence. However, we can use the evidence selection confidence scores, and this somewhat automatically predicts the applicability of a new knowledge base for a new set of claims. And then we think that this is a data-centric view on claim checking, and we do understand data as the claims, labels, and knowledge bases. And they all are important and perhaps deserve some further investigation.